How's it going, guys? My name is Nick Plessis,
And I'm Matt Buholtz.
and we are here talking about a Battleborn demo that I recently returned from. The reason we're not posting this like some of our other previews is that the recording that took place at the event came away with no audio. No audio at all over the game footage. So you guys won't get to know what this sounds like. Here we go. I'm playing a new character that was just recently announced, Whiskey Foxtrot. Very similar to Oscar Mike. Did you use Oscar Mike?
I used Oscar Mike in the beta, yeah. I played the closed beta a little bit. He's kind of an off-kilt soldier.
Yeah, kind of the most contemporary shooter sort of archetype that you can get is these two characters. And one thing I noticed using him and his similarities to Oscar Mike, it seems like, they seem to kind of run in a pair. Like him, even if you look, their helmet is almost identical except for a crack. So it seems like they're kind of a pair. And then I noticed two other characters looked almost like siblings. And so I'm wondering if it's kind of built that way, or if that's maybe just like a creative coincidence.
No, I'm sure that's a design thing, because Gearbox has always been great at building the universe in which the game takes place in.
Yeah.
And Battleborn does have that whole campaign mode as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see these characters have overlaps in their backstories.
Yeah.
What mode are you playing right now?
Okay, so this is a newly announced mode, brand new. It's called Incursion, and it's possibly the most MOBA-ish mode out of the three. Now, I am drawing a blank on the other two. I believe one's called Mayhem, and I think one's called Control. Do you have any verification on that?
I remember for sure Mayhem.
Right.
I believe that's the one that was in the beta.
Right. So I'm pretty sure Control is is just a very contemporary kind of domination, capture a zone type mode. Mayhem is the more MOBA-ish type mode where you just basically follow a track of minions to their objective.
Yeah, you push your creep waves.
Exactly. Matt's the MOBA guy. I am not. I'm the shooter guy. We got the MOBA guy. And now this one, what sets this one apart is there's two, and now you're gonna have to help me with all this MOBA terminology.
Yeah.
You have two kind of nodes that you have to, what are those big objectives you have to kill?
The
in a
bases
MOBA?
usually.
The bases.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this case, the bases take on the role of these two giant robot spiders. One is built very assault. It has a lot of cannons, does a lot of damage, and one's built kind of more defense. And they're on the map, they're kind of in a linear structure. So it's like you get to the closest enemy's spider is going to be always the attacking one, and then the defending is going to be their last line of defense, the last one. And if you kill both enemy spiders, that team wins. And it's like if you get one and the other team gets none, obviously you win. And then depending on whose health is sort of the identifier for who, if it's a closer game, for who wins. Any questions on that?
No, I mean, that sounds really interesting.
It's pretty straightforward.
I like that there are like two objectives to it. It's not just like destroying a core.
Right, yeah.
Which is what Mayhem was mostly like.
Yeah, and they, that attack and defense role of them plays a huge difference, because the attacking one is the one that's a lot harder to get past. Because if you poke your head out, that thing is drilling into you. And then once you get that, then the enemy team, it's more of the enemy team's responsibility to defend their defending spider. So real quick, what's going on here is that there's, now you call them super minions, I guess?
Well, in MOBAs,
as a MOBA term,
usually there will be inhibitors that you have to destroy, which are near the core. And once you destroy those, more powerful waves will start pushing.
Okay.
So like your average minion that you see there is normally called like a creep.
Okay.
And so you get your creep waves. But once you destroy the inhibitor, then more powerful ones tend to go.
Okay.
And so those would be your super minions.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, we have kind of the creep waves, as we'd call them, coming down the middle, just different levels of minions, different powers. But then on one's kind of side of the map, there's three different pads in three different areas defended by what the game calls thralls. Now, these are huge, really beefy minions, and if you kill the thrall in that zone, you stand on the pad, and then it spawns a new one, which works for you. Each side has one pad defended by one thrall, and then there was a pad kind of near the center, which was defended by two thralls, and that made a huge difference, because they didn't deal a ton of damage, but they were really beefy, and they were more of and as the developers were talking about, they're more of a distraction. They keep your attention while you should be focusing on other things. So the video's moving right along here. We have this new character,
Shane Oryx.
Shannon. Yes, she's like this teenager encompassed in a demon. Very heavy melee character. She has very little range at all, and I don't know how much footage we'll see of her compared to the last character, but I do not do well with her at all. I just don't get it.
I don't do well at all with this character,
Yeah.
Nick says as he goes on a 3-kill spree.
Spencer, our lovely Spencer, who edited this, he tried to make me look good. Trust me, it goes bad for some of the parts you don't see. So every character has primary attack, alternate attack, 2 different abilities, and then like an alternate ability, and then a passive ability. Hers are just kind of basic swipes and a boomerang that does a little damage for her basic attacks. And then her abilities are a grab, which she sends out the demon to grab onto someone, and it holds them, but you have to go to them to do any damage. So it just holds onto them for a little while in that spot that it grabs them. And then her other is a stealth, something that makes you go invisible. But to the extent that I could figure out, you don't get to decide when you become visible. You have to be over a person with a target at the moment your timer runs out, and that does damage to them. Kind of situational, hard to figure out. And then her ultimate is like an artillery strike. I barely figured that out. But it was kind of a rough experience with her.
Nick's still not talking about it. This is the first he's brought it up to me. He came back 2 days ago.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean it was overall, and I guess we'll kind of close out with this. I have fun with it. My biggest problem is balancing. And I know that's kind of cliche, but I don't know. Did you experience any concerns with character balancing? It's always hard in these kind of shooters. But
we're still in the beta. I mean, we have the game's coming out in a couple months now, and I mean, you're gonna find these balancing issues throughout, no matter what you play. I mean, I definitely encountered it during the closed beta with a couple of the different characters, just like rolling face.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say it was because of balance and not because of my ability.
I will say that for you too, Matt. So yeah, that's our Battleborn preview. We'll probably have more. We have open beta coming up soon.
Yeah.
Do we not?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So we'll probably have more footage on that. And thanks for listening, guys. I'm Nick.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll see you later. Thank you.
For EGMnow.com.